Start with section 8.6, trig form of complex number. So we have two forms. Remember the standard form of complex number, which is a plus bi. The trig form is z equal r. We're going to find the r, which is the distance between the point of the complex number and the zero. A squared plus b squared. Cosine theta plus I sine theta. How are we going to find the r? A squared plus b squared. How are we going to find the theta? And formula says tangent theta equal b over a. We're going to do examples how to write down the trig form from the standard form. DeMoivre's theorem, it says if you have a complex number with a trig form z equal r cosine theta plus I sine theta, this is really important, is a complex number, and n is a positive integer, then z sub n, that means if you want to find z squared, z to the power 3, z to the power 5, how are we going to write down this? R sub n, r to the power n, cosine theta plus I sine theta to the power n. Then that's what you're going to use. R to the power n, because r is going to be a number. So it's easy to say r to the power n. Cosine n theta plus I sine n theta. So that's how you're going to find the power of the complex number. If you have z sub 10, z sub 12, so you're going to do exactly the same steps. Let's check with example. Here's the first example. They ask you plot the complex number and then find the trig form and theta between 0 and 2 pi. So to plot the complex number, I already know it's 2 and 2. That's me. So plot this complex number 2 and 2. So here's my complex number. This is the first part. You're going to get exactly the same thing when you work on root sign. Next step, we need to find the trig form. So I'm going to write down the trig form. It says z equal r cosine theta plus I sine theta. So what I need to find? I need to find r and I need to find theta. How are we going to find r? R equal the square root of a squared plus b squared. How much a? This is a and here is b. That means r equal square root of a squared, 2 squared, plus 2 squared. That means it's going to be square root of 4 plus 4 is going to be square root of 8, which is equal to square root of 2. So this is r. Next step, we need to find what? We need to find what? I have r. I need to find theta. Tangent theta equal b over a. Tangent theta equal b is 2, a is 2. That means tangent theta equal 1. Now tell me which angle has a tangent equal 1? Which angle has a tangent equal 1? Or you can say, okay, I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to say theta equal tangent inverse to the 1. Theta is going to be equal. You want to go back to the circle and check which angle has a tangent equal 1. Here we're going to go back to the circle. So if you want to use the calculator, you can say tangent inverse to the 1. So the angle is going to be 4, 5. Okay, let's write down. That means our complex number is going to be r cosine theta plus I sine theta R is 2 square root of 2 cosine pi over 4, or you can write down 45 plus I sine pi over 4, which is the same thing. Theta equal pi over 4. We'll do the same thing. I need to graph the complex number or plot the complex number. It's 1 and negative square root of 3. How much negative square root of 3? Tell me how we're going to graph it. Square root of 3 is 1.73. That's mean you're going to graph 1.73. Negative. So 1, and here's 1, 2 is going to be here. So here is our complex number. Now to find the trig form, I have Z equal R cosine theta plus I sine theta. So what's the first thing I need to find? I need to find what? R, which is equal to the square root of A squared plus B squared. This is A, here's B. So R is going to be equal to the square root of A squared, which is 1 squared plus. And here's another thing. When you have a negative number, write down this note. When you have a negative number, put the negative number in parentheses. When you have a negative number, that's negative square root of 3. I'm going to say negative square root of 3 squared. Put parentheses. So the square for the negative sign too. So put parentheses when you have negative number. That means R is going to be square root of 1 plus 3 equals square root of 4. Our R is going to be. Next step, I need to find the theta. Theta, tangent theta equal B over A. Tangent theta equals B is negative square root of 3. A is 1. And B. Tangent theta is going to be equal negative square root of 3. Now tell me, how much the theta? So you can say, okay, the theta, you got negative 60. I'm going to start from 0 and go 60. This is negative 60. Now, I need to find the angle that's mean, what's the angle from here to here as a positive? What are you going to do? We worked with this one. 300. Okay, 300. Give me the radian for 300. So negative 60, you're going to add 360. Negative 60 plus 360 is going to be 300. That means the angle is 300. You can type 300. Okay. So theta 300. Is that 5 pi over 3? Yes or no? So our theta, you can say theta equal 300 or theta equal 5 pi over 3. Depends about which mode you're going to write down. Degree mode or radian mode. So negative 60 is right, but check what I did. From the start side, go back negative 60. I need to get the positive angle. So I'm going to start from here to here because I need to find here the positive side. So you're not going to confuse yourself. It's negative 60, add 360 is going to be 300. If you want to write down 300, or if you want to write down 5 pi over 3, it's going to be the same thing. That means our theta, you're gonna say it's a 300, or you want to type as a 5 pi over 3. So our complex number Z is going to be R is 2, cosine 5 pi over 3 plus I sine 5 pi over 3. That's it. Write the standard form of a complex number. How are we going to write down the standard form? Z equal, here is the 4. What's the cosine 60? What's cosine 60? What's cosine 60? 1 over 2 plus I. What's sine 60? So now we're just going to distribute the 4. That means our complex number is going to be 4 times half plus I, 4 times square root of 3 divided by 2. Now our complex number is going to be 2 plus I, 2 square root of 3. And again, if you want to write down the I here, or if you want to write down the I here, it's going to be the same thing, but make sure the I is outside the root. So inside it's going to be wrong. Can we do the same thing here? Z equals square root of 18. Square root of 18 is square root of 9 times 2. That means it's a 3 square root of 2. Let's write down here 3 square root of 2. Cosine 225. How much is going to be? If you remember, from this quadrant here, we have theta. To find the theta here is going to be 180 minus theta. To find the theta on the third one is going to be 180 plus theta. To find the theta on the fourth coordinate is going to be 360 minus theta. Remember that? Or you just vanished? So that means 225, and the third coordinate is going to be 180 plus which angle? 180 plus 45 is going to be 225. So this one is going to be cosine 180 plus 45 plus I sine 180 plus 45. That means Z is going to be equal to square root of 2. This one is going to be cosine 45. But be careful, we're working on here. Plus I sine 45. He is going to be equal to square root of 2 cosine 45. How much is going to be the cosine? You can say square root of 2 of 2, but we're working on this coordinate. All positive. The sign is positive. Which one is positive? Which one is negative? The tangent. No, the tangent is positive. That means sine and cosine is going to be what? Negative. So this one is negative. Plus I sine 45 also is going to be negative square root of 2 divided by 2. Now we're just going to multiply. Z is going to be equal to what? If you multiply, it's going to be 3 square root of 2 times negative square root of 2 divided by 2. Plus, we say plus, okay, I 3 square root of 2 times negative square root of 2 divided by 2. Square root of 2 times square root of 2. Square root of 2 times square root of 2. Square root of 2 times square root of 2 is going to be, that means here is going to be z equal, here is negative sign, so negative 3 times 2 divided by 2. Plus, the same thing here, here is the I, square root of 2 times square root of 2. So here is the negative sign, because I have negative sign here, and here is the 3 times 2 divided by 2. Can I cancel 2 with the 2? 2 with the 2. So that means C is going to be equal negative 3 minus I times 3, or 3I, the same thing. Let's use DeMoivre's theorem to find, you see what we have between the two brackets, a complex number. This is a complex number. This is the R cosine theta plus I sine theta. So don't confuse yourself. It's a complex number. We need to find this complex number to the power of 4. So by using the theorem says what? It's going to be R z to the power n is going to be R to the power n cosine n theta plus I sine n theta. This is the theorem. That means this number is going to be equal 2 to the power n, because n is 4, so 2 to the power 4. Here is the R, and here's the n. This is R, and here is theta, here is theta. And this number is n. So I'm going to use, this is the z to the power n, the same thing. So R to the power n, and then it's going to be cosine, n is 4, theta is what? 60, so 4 times 60. Plus I sine, n is 4, theta is 60. So 2 to the power 4 is going to be cosine 120, no, 240. Plus I two to the power 4 is going to be 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, 4 times. That means it's going to be 16. How much cosine 240? 240 in which one? Here, here, or here?
Negative half.
Okay, so here 240. So theta is going to be 180 plus 60, right? That's mean is going to be the 60. I'm going to use the angle 60. So this one is going to be cosine 60 plus I sine 60. Again, if you want to use the calculator here, it's fine, but I need to show you. So cosine 60 here on this coordinate, the cosine is positive or negative? Cosine 60 is half. But here on this coordinate, the cosine is positive or negative? Negative. So it's going to be negative half. So when you plug it in the calculator, cosine 240 is going to be negative half. I need to show you how the calculator checking the number. So 240 is going to be negative half. Here is the plus I. Sine 60 is square root of 3 divided by 2. But on the third coordinate, the sign is what? Negative. So that's why it's going to be negative. So here is going to be negative I square root of 3 divided by 2. Now distribute the 60. It's going to be 16 times negative half minus I 16 times square root of 3 divided by 2. Simplify. So it's going to be negative 8 minus I 8 square root of 3. So here is the complex number. This number to the power 4. Got it so far? Another example. We use the DeMoivre's theorem to find cosine pi over 2 plus I sine pi over 2 to the power 6. So we already know this is the theta. Here is the theta. How much the R? 1. The R is 1. You can say the R exists here. These are two into parentheses. So the R is going to say equal 1. That's mean this one is going to be equal. The rule says R to the power n cosine n theta plus I sine n theta. That's mean 1 to the power 6 is not going to change anything. Cosine 6 times pi over 2 plus I sine 6 pi over 2. This is 1. So cosine, simplify here, going to be 3 pi plus I sine 3 pi. What's cosine 3 pi? Pi, 2 pi, 3 pi. What's cosine 3 pi? So here is, from here to here is pi. Then go back here, it's going to be 2 pi. Go back again here, it's going to be 3 pi. So 3 pi here. How much the cosine here? -1. Let's look at cosine 180 pi. So here is -1 plus I. What's the sine 3 pi? Sine 3 pi. Someone says 0. So this is cancelled because I times 0 is going to be 0. So the result is going to be this is still complex number. So before you start working on 2 plus 2i to the power 6, you're gonna say, okay, I need to convert my complex number is 0 equal 2 plus 2i. This is the complex number. I need to convert to the trig form, so I need to find r and theta. How are we gonna find the r?
A squared plus B squared.
A squared plus b squared. That means r is going to be, here is the a and here is the b. Square root of 2 squared plus 2 squared. Square root of 4 plus 4. So r is going to be square root of 8. So r is going to be 2 square root of 2. Next step, I need to find what? Theta. Theta, tangent theta equal b over a. Tangent theta equal 2 over 2. So tangent theta equal 1. So how much theta? Well, this is the first example we solved. Theta is going to be equal No, tangent theta equal 1. Theta equal,
Tangent -1.
okay, tangent inverse to the 1 is going to be 5/4, which is 45. And then we have theta. We have now we can write down the trig. So z is going to be equal r, which is 2 square root of 2 cosine 5/4 plus I sine 5/4. So here is the complex number in a trig form. So here is the standard form, and here is the trig form. Now, next step, we need to find z to the power n, to the power 6. See, this is the z. Now I need to find z to the power 6. So it's going to be everything here to the power 6. 2 square root of 2 cosine 5/4 plus I sine 5/4 to the power 6. Is that similar to what we have here? So it's going to be r to the power n. That means going to be 2 square root of 2 to the power 6. And it's going to be here cosine 6π/4 plus I sine 6π/4. How much 2 square root of 2 to the power 6? It's going to be 8, 50, 50, 512. Yes or no? To the power 6, 54 times. Yes, 512. How much cosine? Because you're going to simplify here. So it's going to be cosine 3π/2 plus I sine 3π/2. It's going to be 512. How much cosine 3π/2? 3π/2. The opposite angle for the 90. 3π/2. The sine is going to be what? The cosine is 0 plus the sine is going to be -1. So the result is going to be negative 512i. Yes or no? Telling you it's easy steps. You just have to keep working on it.